Part 3. So as I was saying, because I keep getting interrupted by people who can't control themselves or do the sensible thing, which be get some help or get a grip. All right, so on my profile, I specifically say what I'm looking for. Now let me explain this to y'all so that you can either understand my logic or my ethics or whatever, or you can give me the finger. It doesn't fucking matter because you're gonna do what you want anyway. So why not? See, I don't believe in cheating. I strongly don't believe in cheating. I'm not gonna say I'm above it. I'm not gonna say it can't happen because I don't want to sit here and say that I'm the greatest man that ever lived. And I personally have never cheated on a girlfriend, but they've all cheated on me, and I don't want to be that guy that does the same thing that's been done to me over and over and over and over again. But I also know that I may have a little bit of Asian fever, or yellow fever, or white fever, or maybe I just like dating women that don't look like me. Or maybe I like dating women that I would prefer to be with so that I don't get involved with the chick and wind up cheating on her with my fantasies. Because every man, I'm sorry, if they don't, then they're probably got what they're looking for. But a lot of men, specifically me, um, have a fantasy of the world in which we live in. Sorry, if I can get this stupid damn thing to work. Anyway, selfie. Anyway, so I'm so I don't want to get involved with a black chick and then start cheating on her with an Asian chick. No, I got a pretty good sense of if I'm involved with an Asian chick, I'm not gonna cheat on her with an Asian chick, cause I'm gonna be all right where I'm at. And it's not like I can't put her in costumes, cause Asian women are into that kind of thing. Some of them, not all of them. And it's not like we can't live out every fantasy I want to live out with. And maybe she wants to be with a guy who's half black. And besides, I'm black where it counts. Now, back to the point of the matter. Miss Kim called me all kinds of racist, which clearly she did not read my profile, or clearly Miss Kim is a straight up black woman. Alright? I mean, that would mean Kim would be her first name and not her last name, which is on my, because I assumed that since her last name was Kim, she would be Korean. Clearly, that ain't the case. Clearly, Miss Kim is a black woman who doesn't know how it feels to have someone almost take your life because they're black and they're dating someone who's black and you're black and they're threatening you in front of your dad with a fucking handgun because you're both 14, but he's 23 and he's trying to kill you over a 14-year-old's pussy that he's fucking and you're not. And if that wasn't blunt enough for you, I'm sorry. But that was as honest as I can get without causing all kinds of strife. Alright? Now, I've had a whole lot of bad black experience dating black chicks. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I've had a whole assload of bad experiences. And when I was a kid, one black girl literally told me that I was never going to be good enough for black chicks. Ever. And if somebody tells you this enough and other people tell you this enough, eventually you'll believe it. So, and I believed it so much that when I actually stopped believing it and started dating black chicks, bad shit started happening. So I stopped dating black chicks. Now here's the thing about yellow fever and white fever and black fever and Latin fever and all this other shit. They don't legally exist. You have a preference in what you prefer. And you have a fantasy. And if your fantasy is Asian women or Latin women, well, there's good news and there's bad news on that. Because see, here's the thing that a lot of Latin women don't know. If they're Latin and they're like from Aztec or Incan or Mayan, then they're not really Latin. They're actually Asian because Native Americans covered from the top of Canada to the south part of South America. And the only reason that they speak Spanish is because Cortez conquered their people from Mexico on down. Now, learning that, and I can prove it with this encyclopedia of all the tribes that from Asia all the way down, yeah, if you're Latin guess what? Your ass is actually Asian. So if you're not from Spain, then technically you're not Spanish. Now, the only reason why Aztec, Inca, and Mayan speak Spanish is because when they were assimilated into society by the Spaniards, their languages were killed. It's the same thing that was done with us up here in the North Americas with the Cherokees and all that other stuff, because our languages were taken from us because we had guns to our head and decided, hey, you're going to do it our way or you're going to catch a bullet. In that case back then, it started off with musket balls and then they eventually became bullets. But in the principle of the shit, had Marco Polo not been slick and stole black powder from the Chinese, we probably wouldn't have been in this problem in the beginning. But it is what it is, and America's society has been built on violence to begin with. Now, getting back on track with sexual preference of your ethnicities. If you are black and you like to date Asian women, the only people who's going to give you a problem with it is black people. A lot of Asians, depending on if they're Chinese, Japanese, or Vietnamese, most of them, and Koreans, they're most likely, they don't give a fuck, as long as you treat their child right and you're doing well by them and you're not cheating or beating up their asses and stuff like that, and not in a sexual way. I mean, like with your fist. Most Asians are fairly open-minded, and you have those, like, probably some of the hardcore, more inner China, like big cities and shit. There's just not that many black people there, so they're probably not dating them unless they're going to the fucking red light district. And then there are rumors, and then there's porn, and maybe a woman of Asian ethnicity might want to try out the black meat. So, other than that, without rumors and porn, most people stick to their own, but every now and again, you get 1 in 1,000 that will probably want to date a person of a different race. And it's not something that is genetic, it's just something that happens, and people have to understand, love don't see with this, it sees with this. And sex ain't always about love. Sex is sometimes just about a good fucking feeling, that orgasmic feeling, and those things happen, and you have to accept that shit, because sometimes you just have to deal with the shit that comes with it. And babies of mixed ethnicities, like myself, know where I'm coming from. Now, I say that because I've done plenty of these videos where I've had to tell you guys about how my black friends didn't think that I was a full nigger. My white friends didn't trust me because I was a half nigger. And then when I found out I was Native American, it was like, all bets are off. We don't want to fuck with Tonto. Alright? Yeah, I've been a Tonto. Okay? I've also been a Geronimo, but mostly I've been Chief. So, yeah, I'm not going to go into that in this video. But here's the thing. It's so nice to find an article where I'm not the only person who's accused of being a racist just because I don't want to date someone of my race. But here's the problem. When you're multicultural, you can date out of your race, because there's no way you can date out of your race. I'm half black, I'm half white, I'm half Native American. You can put that shit in any order you want, and I can date all three. Understand? I prefer Asians. I get along better with them. I prefer white girls. In high school, they were the only ones that would talk to me. So, I got 5 white girls in high school that would actually talk to me, and not just in the friend zone, versus that one black girl that wants me to wait an eternity for her to fuck everybody that I can't stand. And then, after she has children by all of them, she wants me to come and take care of those motherfuckers. Yeah. Don't think I'm going to fly in that damn direction, where at least with the white chicks, they're not going to fucking say, alright, well, we're going to fuck, and I'm going to fuck everybody else, and mostly people you can't stand, and then I'm going to pin you with their child. I've never had that problem with all my white girlfriends, and most of the black girls that I've ever attempted to date pretty much didn't want nothing to do with me, and most of them have cheated on me. Now, my white girlfriends, the main one that I had that I was really trying to be with, she cheated on me with a guy who looks just like me. And so, and it was worse than that, because, he literally looked just like me, and she came to my job with the motherfucker. So, like I said, you can't make this shit up. This shit does fucking happen. It's not just me. I'm sure there's someone else out there who's gone through this shit. But at that same time, you learn to adapt and you move on, And so when I started messing with Latin girls and Asian girls, or just Asian girls in general, Now I get on this dating site and Miss Kim, the first damn thing she does is, "You're a racist." Well, the person who wrote this article, the guy who's half French and half German, I support you, dude, because I've been there. And that's why I brought this video back up, or all three of these videos, because, you know, you have the right to date who you want. This isn't one of those Hitler societies like Starship Troopers where you're paired up with someone just because that's what they want. You don't get that right. This is one of those communistic societies where you don't get to choose your bride. This is one of those forced Asian societies where you get to choose nothing, but you're only allowed to have 2 kids and your husband is betrothed to you or your wife is betrothed to you. Those things are obsolete. People are loving who the fuck they want, and we're going to have to accept it. I mean, you don't have to like it, but you can't break them up because you're not happy, and because instead of going with your gut or taking the balls and saying, I don't want to date this Asian guy because I'm Asian. I want to date this Asian guy because I love him. Or girl, depending on how you look at the situation. I was speaking from the Asian woman who said that if he dated the white girl dated the Asian boy, it's Asian fever or yellow fever or whatever the fuck that shit's called. And I said there, so how can she jump down the white guy's throat? Because clearly she said that if he dates Asian chicks, now he has yellow fever. And if he doesn't date Asian chicks, he's a fucking racist. So he was pretty much in a lose-lose situation, which the whole article I read in the other video pretty much covers. He's in a lose-lose situation. But here's the simple fact, all right? If you are a woman and you choose to date out of your race, ain't a damn thing wrong with that. If you are a man and you choose to date out of your race, ain't nothing wrong with that. Now it gets a little complicated if you live the alternate lifestyle. Now I'm gonna break this down for you who don't understand, and the reason why I'm doing it is because the simple fact that transgenders get a whole gaggle fuck of bad press when it comes to dating. Alright? Especially if they are not dating within their own community. If they're dating, if you're a transgender man passing as a woman and you're dating a man who thinks you're a woman, it's more than likely that you're going to wind up dead when he finds out. No, even if he's open-minded, he needs to know from the beginning. He can't find out the night y'all decide y'all going to do the big bang. You know, he needs to know way before that even gets that far, because if he's open-minded and he's down, okay, you're safe. But if he's not open-minded and he finds out the hard way that your dick is bigger than his, somebody gonna die. And that's just me being honest. I'm not trying to pick on transgender people in any way, shape, or form. I'm just letting you know this shit does happen. I'm 44 years old. I've read about this shit. I've been told about this shit. And this is why you must be honest with people all the time. Even when it suits you badly, you know, I'd rather you be honest with me and we both walk away than, you know, me find out the hard way and you make me kill you because you lied to me this entire time. A relationship built on lies ends with people dies. It's just that simple. You do not build a relationship on a lie. You don't. It's not the best idea. Now, I'm not saying you got to give them every bit of information about you, but, you know, if you had an STD, I would like to know before I go plowing up in there. And I'm sure you would like to know if I have one before you go jumping on the pole. And, you know, the thing about this whole kick was that we as people are caught up more on race than anything else, and who we can deem a racist before we actually get to know people. And I respect this dude. He's half German, he's half French. So he's a white dude. I say he's probably roughly maybe 6 feet tall. Maybe blue eyes, maybe not. I don't know what color eyes Germans have, but French people, some of them have blonde hair, and that might be Scandinavians. See, race. See why I did that? I made my point by not making my point. Now, the thing is, we're all caught up on race, and we're not caught up on this Asian girl makes him happy, or this white boy makes her happy, or this black guy and this Spanish girl gonna make some beautiful ass babies. No, we're worried about, oh, that's disgusting. Why he can't find his own color. That's the first thing a black chick says. Now, with an Asian girl, it's more like, well, I like Asian guys, but they're portrayed as soft, unless they're the Bruce Lee type. And then if you get the bad boys may get you killed or may let their friends run a train on you. Asians have some issues too. And that works for everybody, really. Yeah, it's not just Asians. It's not just blacks. It's not just whites. Everybody has a racial hang-up and a racial stereotype that we all need to just sit the fuck down and talk about this shit. But when it comes down to love, to be honest, love has no color. Love has no sight. And when we accept people for who they are and love them, and as long as it's not based on a lie, you got a better chance of your relationship actually working. But also, you should probably be honest with yourself so that you can be honest with everyone else. I'm James Williams. You come habit number 2. Be seeing you.